Ding, 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 ding. Everyone wake up. It's time. It's update day. It's update day. Everybody wake up. Look, today at 4:12 a.m. on the Team Woods Games Discord server. Is it Team Wood? Team Wood Games. We got an announcement that the new patch is out on itch.io and Steam, which is good. I already downloaded it on my computer, and you know, it is for sure there. I did see it. So we're going to be discussing the patch notes as I like to do. Android will follow very soon. I did check it on my Android on my phone, and it wasn't yet live. Developer notes are below the changelog. Really quick, I do want to state that these changes do show up in the game. They do show up in the game. The issue is that when I open the game, I immediately open the options menu to try and get past it so I could lower the volume and sound, because I didn't necessarily want to listen to the Super Auto Pets music on loop while we went through the patch notes. So now we're stuck looking at it on Discord. I don't know if there's any way of bringing that back up. If the developers do watch this, please consider adding an option to review the developer notes for the past changelog. That would be very cool. I would appreciate it if you considered that. So let's start going through some of the changes. Added Boar to Pack 1 and Pack 2 that is Tier 6 and 8/6. That is a Tier 6 and 8 attack, 6 health with ability before attack gain +2/+2. Interesting. So the Boar actually, if you haven't been playing the beta patches, the Boar actually went through many changes. Initially, it was like a 6/10 or something. I don't quite remember the stats, but it had the ability +2/+2. Then I think they actually buffed it to give +3/+3, and now it's now an 8/6 that gives +2/+2. Apparently, +3/+3 was too powerful. I mean, I think I actually tried to put the Tiger behind the Boar, even when it was +3/+3, and I didn't get that good of a result. I mean, it is just a better hippo, but you know, if this is what the developers think is balanced, then so be it. I have no problem with it, and I'm just glad the Boar is here because it's really fun to play with. So make sure to go try the Boar at some point. Added Dolphin. Oh, sorry. Let's go on to the next change. Let's actually do this in an orderly fashion. Added Dolphin to Pack 2. So if I check over here, Dolphin is originally on the standard pack. It's like a Tier 4, right? Yeah, it's a Tier 4. And on the standard pack, when you really go through and analyze the animals that can be found in that pack, there's no sniping units. Like you have Bat, if you want to consider that a sniping unit. It kind of isn't though. What else do you have? You have Skunk, if you want to consider that a sniping unit, but I think that's pretty much it. Let me see. If you want to consider Microbe a sniping unit, then you got that. Octopus, level 3 Octopus, you could consider a sniping unit. Leopard is there at Tier 6, actually. But other than that, I don't think, well, Mosquito. You know, you compare that to the kind of stuff that you'd find in the standard pack, which is like, you got like Crocodile, you got Snake, you got Dolphin. So by adding Dolphin to Pack 2, it actually, you know, it adds a little bit more sniping potential. It's interesting because I can't think of anything that you'd run at the back that would be super strong. Actually, if people run Caterpillar way at the back, this could actually be a decent counter to that. So maybe it's supposed to be like a Caterpillar counter. It could also potentially be a Bat counter because some people like running their Bats way back there. I don't know. Maybe if people run Rooster way at the back, it could also potentially do something to that. I don't know, but needless to say, it's an interesting change. I don't mind. Hey, the more animals we got, the better. More diversity there, so I don't mind it. Added Tiger to Pack 2. This is exciting. I am really excited for Tiger in Pack 2. This is gonna allow for some wild combinations. I'm already thinking of some. For example, Tiger behind Mammoth. Tiger, one-up Mammoth in front of Tiger. You could also get level 3 Octopus in front of Tiger. Obviously, that's a little bit, you know, a little bit more ambitious there. You could have like Eagle would be fun to have in front of the Tiger. I'm thinking like Micro, but that wouldn't really do anything, huh? Rhino, I forget. Rhino is in the standard pack as well, though. I don't know. There's just some really interesting stuff going on here that I'm really excited to play around with. I'm having a little bit of a look. I have a little bit of a look around. I don't know what the hell the Tiger behind the Caterpillar would do, but I'm excited to see that because that sounds hilarious. And looking through the rest of the animals, nothing else really stands out. But it's exciting, right? I'm excited to I'm excited to try that out. Tiger is always a good time. So, yeah. Change Tiger ability to the friend ahead repeats their ability in battle as if they were a level 1, 2, or 3. This is exciting. It gives more of a reason to power up to level up the Tiger, and it makes it less of it makes it less of a like win. Because the thing with the Tiger, right? I am a big fan of the Tiger. I really enjoyed the Tiger, and I was sad when they initially removed it. But the thing with the Tiger is that it was just too strong. It was a unit that you strictly put behind any other unit, and it would become double as good. Now there's a little bit of work and a little bit of effort that you have to put into it, so it's not quite as broken. So I think this is a good change, even though it'll make it a little less fun, because I just kind of enjoyed how broken it was. I understand why this is a change, and I think it's overall good. I don't know that it'll be balanced, but I think this is better than the potential. For those who don't know, there is a secret hidden food item in the game called the cherry that isn't available to get, and it allows you to essentially it procs your ability twice. It's the old Tiger, except you don't need to take up capacity with one extra animal, sorry. So I think this is a good change, and the cherry just seems way too broken. I really hope they never add that. I mean, maybe they could add it in like versus mode and allow you to toggle it on and off, because that would be fun, but otherwise I just think it would be too strong. But I think this is a fine change. It gets around the Tiger being so strong. Whether it's balanced or not, we'll have to see once this gets into the hands of the masses. But yeah, exciting. Change duck ability to give +1 health to shop pets. I don't know if this is any good yet. You know, the duck was overwhelmingly strong before as a tier 1. It was kind of over-centralizing in terms of meta. Not over-centralizing. You could get around not using it, but it was pretty strong, right? Because if you got those initial like 4 or 5 ducks into a Dodo, it would be really strong. I don't know if nerfing the Dodo would actually make ducks better, but overall, I think it's interesting. You know, it's playing the game in order to ensure that you run these units so you lose. Making the best strategy to lose and not really care about wins, I think is a little bizarre personally. So yeah. I don't know if this change will make it good. It kind of seems unplayable to me. I don't know when you would ever use this, but it's here. Change fly to 5/5 and ability to trigger 3 times, and zombie fly to 5/5. This is quite strong. This allows the fly to stand on its own and not necessarily need a turkey, though obviously you wouldn't want to run it with a turkey just because it's so, otherwise it just kind of doesn't, it's still just 5/5s and fly is like a tier 6, right? So I don't know why it's not showing. Oh, standard pack. Here we go. Yeah, fly is a tier 6. So I don't know, just spawning a bunch of 5/5s, that's overall a 20/20. And you could potentially buff the fly, but then you're still spawning 5/5s, right? So I don't know that it would be necessarily super worth it. I am curious about how this interacts with the Tiger. I wonder if the friend ahead repeats the ability in battles if they were a level 1, 2, or 3. I wonder, because you can only trigger 3 times, I wonder if putting a Tiger behind the fly will make it so it triggers twice. And if it's a level 2 fly, then it'll actually be worse, right? Because I'm assuming that the level 2 fly summons 10 10s, right? So, I don't know if the Tiger, if you have a level 2 fly, if the Tiger will make it activate as a level 1 and actually count towards the triggers. I assume it would, in which case that's a combination that you really don't want. Not necessarily a combination that you would want anyway. You usually put the Tiger behind the turkey, but regardless. Change squirrel ability to the start of turn, roll shop with discounted food. This is a little sad. I kind of really enjoyed how the squirrel worked in the beta. The way the squirrel worked in the beta is level 1 squirrel, when you played it, it would still replace everything in the shop, but everything would be discounted by 1 gold. Then level 2 squirrel would make it so every food item would be discounted by 2 gold, so every food item was 1 gold. Was worth 1 gold. And now it just discounts the food, and I don't know if that increases, like if you have a level 2 squirrel, if the food is now is worth 1. I don't know how this works. I don't even know if it gets any buffs, but this is what we're given. If it does continually, like if you have a level 2 squirrel and every time that you roll the shop you get, oh wait, it's start of turn. Wait, no, never mind. This is not that good. This is not fantastic, and because it's not every time. It's not like any time that it exists, it discounts food. Essentially, you get what's in the shop, and that's kind of it. I don't know how strong the previous squirrel was, but this is, I don't know. I kind of liked the unique the unique ability of the squirrel to completely take over the shop. So, you know, I don't know. Once again, I don't know how balanced it was. I never got to really play with it much with the discounted food, but I did watch some people such as Northern Lion play with it, and it seemed really interesting. He got like a shop that had like 4 or 5 melon armor, and he was able to, along with a rabbit, just feed every single unit melon armor and give them +1 HP. And it never seemed super broken to me, but maybe it would have been if he got like a full shop of pears or something. So I don't know. Change spider ability to summon pet with the same level, but always as 2/2. I don't know necessarily what this does. I never see. Is this a nerf? It never really seemed to me like this. Like the spider was super strong. Didn't it used to summon like if the spider was level 2, would it summon like a 4/4 sheep and then summon 2 4/4 rams? I don't know. Maybe it is a nerf, but I never really had a problem with spider, so I can't really comment on this. Anyone who does know about the spider, please let me know if it was actually that broken in the comment section down below. Change rabbit ability to also trigger on itself. This is just better. There's so many times where I'll be like spreading salad around the team, and I feel so bad when the rabbit ends up getting the salad on herself because, oh good, you got +1/+1. That's wasted. But now you can actually potentially buff the rabbit. The rabbit is just a worse worm now. It's like a very defensive worm. Just a worse worm really, because it doesn't buff its attack. But hey, I like the rabbit, and I'm excited to give this a shot. Change Dodo to 2/3 and ability to give 50%, 100%, and 150 attack. I don't know how good this is. It is a 2/3, and I believe that if you have, for example, 3, if you have 3 attack, then that would be 1.5 attack. 50% of 3 would be 1.5. I do believe it rounds up. So, yeah, I mean, I ran into a few dodos during the beta test, and overall, it seemed pretty okay. But I never got really much hands-on time with it. So, yeah, overall, it seemed fine. It seemed fine based on the ones that I ran into. And it was still infuriating when you lose to it, because suddenly you're faced with like a 49-10 fish at the front, but whatever. Change Rooster to 5/3 and ability to inherit 50% attack. Once again, I haven't seen many people run Rooster, but this seems way more balanced. I did run into a couple... I ran into a couple Roosters, never ran it myself. And they gave me some trouble, but they weren't necessarily the thing is, right, if you've watched my latest videos, I've been trying out Expansion Pack 1 just because I never had it before, and it's really fun to try out new things. Whenever I play Expansion Pack 1, I had to switch it so that I would only run into people that were running my own pack, because otherwise I just kept running into Dodo Rooster, and it was just so strong. Now with this, I'm actually able to, you know, combat Roosters and not feel like my run is over. So you know, it seems good. It seems good, and whether it's good or, you know, whether that's actually the truth, I guess we'll see. But thumbs up from me. Change grab ability to trigger on buy and always target the highest health minion. This is good. I much prefer this to how it used to be. It does mean that it doesn't infinitely scale with the unit in front of it, but it does mean that you have a little bit more flexibility in how you want to organize your animals, right? How you want your lineup to look. You don't always have to run high health minion, crab directly behind. This actually gives you a little bit more flexibility, and it makes it so that the crab doesn't infinitely scale, which was a little silly, so this is good. Change goat to 4/6 and ability to have 2 charges and give +1, +2, +3 gold. So in the beta, this actually had 3 charges, and that meant that when it was level 3, you could buy 3 things for free. So I guess they had to nerf it. Once again, didn't get much of a... No matter how much you play, right? No matter how much SAP you play, you don't necessarily always get to see all the combinations. So I don't know how good this was necessarily, but seems fine to me. Change Sauropod ability to have 3 charges and give +1, +2, +3 gold. So yeah, Sauropod will now give you free food when it's level 3, but that's a lot of investment to put into it just so it gives you 3 free food items. which, you know, I guess late game, if you really want to pump the your shop animals with canned food, be my guest. That's not ideally what you want to be doing so far into the game, but hey, you do whatever needs to be done. I think at that point you usually have a better engine like a T-Rex or like a level 3 poodle, or I don't know. Overall, it exists. This is a change that exists. Change monkey to 1/2 tier 5 and ability to give +3/+3. This is a pretty fine change. It actually makes the penguin worth considering, at least temporarily. So this is a good change. I actually have no problems with this. There is an issue that some people have pointed out, I think, which is that scaling is getting spread further apart, which means that I don't know what that's going to do to the meta, but for example, with the standard pack, let me switch to just standard pack because that's where the monkey is. So with the standard pack, on tier 5, you'd have the monkey, right? What else can scale in that tier? I guess turkey. Turkey doesn't really scale though. It just buffs your spawned units, and shark doesn't scale either. Tier 6. What scales in tier 6? You got dragon. You have dragon in there. You have cat. You could consider a scaling unit. That's about it. Then tier 4. Bison is in there. Hippo doesn't scale. Monkey's no longer there. So you have bison, which is, you know, you have to really enable. Penguin, and then worm, which worm is kind of bad. Then tier 3, you have giraffe. Snail is not a scaling unit. You have giraffe, and that's it. Tier 2, what do you have for scaling? You have dog. You have dog and maybe pill flamingo, but that's not really scaling. Shrimp, you could consider scaling, but that's kind of it. It does kind of push scaling into the waste. You know, it's a little bit harder to make that work, but we'll have to see how it works. Overall, I like this change just because it makes penguin more viable and penguin's fun, despite the fact that it's not necessarily super great. Change crocodile to 8/4 and ability to deal 8 damage. So I remember having a good point about this. I've now forgotten what that good point was, but this will be good for sniping turkeys. What was it that had 8 HP? Man, I can't remember now, but there was something that I was like, this will be great to snipe things at the back that have 8 HP. I don't know. I can't find it now, but overall, good change. I don't mind crocodile buffs. Crocodile is fun. For those who didn't know, it was previously a 6/3 tier 5, which is pretty poor, and it also did 7 damage. Now it does 8. So if someone just bought a fresh new dragon and they have it at the back, there you go. Snipe that, I guess. Change rat to 4/5, an ability to summon a 1/1 dirty rat for the opponent. So the rat, it actually was taken out briefly, as you saw. I made a video on it, I'm pretty sure. And they re-added it. It's still not great, but here it is. It's just re-added. Change milk to +1/+2. This is great because the cow was always the like, you saw it, you bought it. There was no situation in which you saw the cow and you were like, oh well, like you would even. It was so good to the point that you would even consider getting one of your already settled units, taking it out, and just buying the cow just because +2/+2 was so good. +1/+2 is still good. And actually, the way that this works is you can level up the cow, unless they changed it. But in the beta, the way it worked is you could level up the cow, and then if you had a tier 2 cow or a level 2 cow, and you put, you know, when you bought it, so you had a level 1.5 cow, then you bought a level 2 cow and you put it on top, you would actually get 2 free milk. I guess it's not really free. That would give you +2/+4, and then a level 3 cow would actually give you +3/+6. So you got 2 milk that gave you +3/+6. So that's +6/+12 for 3 gold on a targeted. Look, targeted food is very good. There's a reason why a lot of the food is random, because being able to target food is really good. Think about what you could do with like a worm, or even, well, I guess it doesn't matter much for the rabbit now, but like the seal. So targeted food is really good. Change canned food to +2/+1. I've never had much of an issue with canned food. It always seemed too slow, but I've heard that this was really strong in Versus, so maybe nerfing it here is a good idea. Change dog to tier 3. This is a little bit problematic. Oh, I remember how I talked about scaling on tier 2. I guess tier 3 now has dog. The dog is a 2-2, a tier 3. It feels a little bit late, but maybe not. I mean, it's on the same tier as, like... I don't know. I mean, it's on the same tier as Puppy now. So maybe that's what they're kind of trying to do, get some parity between those two. But it does mean that in order to run the same old... It just means that in order to have the same old dog, you just need to level up a unit on turn 3. And then you could potentially get a dog, and I guess that's how it can happen with Puppy. I don't know. Stands to see how good this is. I've heard a lot of people say that it's not necessarily fantastic anymore, so... Okay. Change Whale to tier 4. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why Whale needs to be there. It never seemed that strong. I mean, I guess it makes Hedgehog builds slower. I don't know why the Whale is... Am I just missing something? Was the Whale secretly just super strong? It's a 2-6. Tier 3 2-6. That ate the unit in front of it, but like, what could it even enable that was that strong? Turtle? I guess Turtle might have been it. Turtle Hedgehog? Turtle Flamingo? I don't know. I really don't know what the issue there was, but there might be something I'm missing. So if there's something I'm missing, please let me know. Change Poodle to 2-2 and tier 5. Oh no, I love Poodle. Hang on. I love Poodle. So you're telling me Poodle went from tier 4 to tier 5? I don't know how I feel about that. The Poodle never seemed super strong to me. So they made it a 2-2 and it's now a tier 5? Yeah, it never seemed super strong to me. In fact, I would usually only take it as like a stopgap before I got to tier 6 and managed to get some other scaling in the form of like Dragon or T-Rex. So now it's even slower and it's even worse. I don't even know if it's worth taking anymore. I don't know. This, I mean, it gives +1/+1 and you can use all your gold. You compare that to like a T-Rex. I don't know. Maybe this is balanced now. Maybe that's balanced now, but it never seems super strong to me. Change Parent to tier 4 and 5-3. Never found a good use for Parrot. I think now it takes the copy ability of the pet ahead. I always forget about that. And it's a 5-3. Hey, I guess tier 5 seemed a little late for it, mostly because I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what you do with it. There's some benefits to there's some benefits to it, like for example, there's a difference between running Tiger and Parrot. Like for example, Hippo you'd want to run Tiger with. Parrot you could do better by running like, say, I'm struggling to think of when it would be better to run a Parrot. Maybe it was something like Eagle. Would that be much better? I don't think so. I mean, I guess it exists. So there you go. Parrot's now a tier 4. Feel free to use it. It's a 5-3, which has decent stats, but I don't know. It's just not very durable. Doesn't seem that good. Change Puppy ability to cost 3 gold. That's putting it in line with all the later scaling units. This is probably fine. This is probably for the best, honestly. Puppy was a little over-centralizing, maybe. I mean, I saw it on most teams on the expansion pack, so maybe having it cost 3 gold is a good thing. Change Microbe to tier 4. I don't know. This just enables Turtle Microbe earlier. I guess that's good. I don't know, but not much to say on that. I don't have much experience with the Microbe. Change Pig to 3-1. Allows it to trade with the fish early on. It's good. Change Horse to 2-1. Allows it to trade with like Otter and a whole bunch. I mean, it still dies terribly to Mosquito. It still dies terribly to fish. It still dies terribly even to Ladybug. It loses to Ladybug. It loses to Duck. But at least it trades with Duck. Overall, good change, I think. You know, it exists. Excuse me. Change Shrimp to 2-3. This, I guess, makes it easier to take. Never really thought the Shrimp needed a buff, mostly because, well, maybe it did need a buff because it was so bad. But I don't know if 2-3 will really do it. But I can't think of a better buff. You're gonna make it give 2 random units +1/+1 HP. I think that would be too much. Change Tabby Cat to 5-3. What the hell is it now? 4-3? Why would you make it 5-3? What can it trade with now? Oh, it can trade with Elephant cleanly. It can trade with Peacock. That's a good break point. It can trade with rat. Okay, that's a good break point. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. That's good. It means that the turn you buy it, even if you can't feed it, it'll still trade with unpowered up like elephant and peacock and all that. So that's decent. Change giraffe to 2-5. What was it previously? Let me look at giraffe. Isn't it like a 1-3? There it is. 1-3. I don't know. It's good. It's good. That's way better stats. It went from 1-3 to 2-5. Talk about a glow up. Maybe it'll be able to trade cleanly with what else is there on this tier that I could trade cleanly with? I mean, it trades with a turtle now, I guess. It trades with turtle. It doesn't even trade. It actually wins versus turtle. Okay. Cool. Oh wait, hang on. Giraffe 2-5. It actually trades with the sheep. An unboosted sheep. It can go through the entire sheep and the 2 rams. Okay. Good. That's a good one. Change skunk to 3-6. I don't know what it's meant to survive now. I guess it can withstand no it can't. I don't know why it's a 3-6. Why is the skunk a 3-6? I don't know. It's there. More in line with a dolphin. Dolphin is 4-6. I don't know. Change worm to 2-2. Worm is not that good. It's just a little late to start scaling. It's tier 4. At that point, you should probably have a lineup and dedicating all your gold to one worm that starts at 1-1. Was not quite worth it. I don't know if it'll be worth it at 2-2. Part of me says it won't be, but I guess we'll see. Change llama to 3-6. I mean, that's a good change. Llama, I found llama to be quite... I mean, I've only used it once, granted, but I won that game, and it was pretty easy. So, I don't know. Overall, good change, I think, because a lot of people don't run llama. Change lobster to 4-5. No one knows what lobster does. No one's going to run it. Nah, I don't know. I don't have experience with lobster. Change rhino to 5-8. Thank you. Thank you for buffing the rhino. The rhino being a 5-8, I remember having, or a 5-6, I remember having so many sad trades versus things like for example, now it'll be able to survive against an eagle. It will just be able to survive against an eagle and hit the tier 6 that comes out of it. So this is a good change. Overall, I'm really happy about this change. It should be able to survive against... Well, no one runs shark at the front, let's be real. But, like... It'll now actually pose a threat, potentially, to... Well, it'll actually now be able... No, it won't. It won't trade with gorilla. I don't know. Overall, I think it's a good change. I'm happy. It'll be able to survive a hit from a leopard, I guess, but, like, leopard you buff anyway. I don't know. I still think it's good. Rhino buffs are good. Change seal to 3-8. That's a chunky unit. That is a chunky unit. The seal is one of the worst units in the game, in my opinion. I've never really gotten it to work, but I guess we'll see how it goes at 3-8. Change gorilla to 6-9. Good. It'll be able to take hits. It's actually the highest HP unit behind Sauropod. In tier 6. Just the highest HP base. The highest base HP unit, actually. So good. You know, gorilla should be able to take a hit now. It won't just immediately die. For example, if you run gorilla at the back and it gets hit by a crocodile, it won't actually die anymore. Even after the crocodile was buffed to do 8 damage, it'll still survive with 1 HP and activate its coconut armor. So that's good. It actually also enables it to be able to get hit in the shop, because for those who don't know, if you pill a badger, you can make it hit the gorilla and activate coconut armor from the start of the battle. So now it'll actually be able to do that with even less of an issue, because it was a 6-6. And any damage that you take in the shop is permanent. And the badger comes at a base 5 HP. So at most, if you wanted to activate the coconut armor early, the gorilla would end up as a 6-1 with coconut armor, which is really just not worth it. Now, at least if it takes 5 damage, it'll be a 6-4 with coconut armor. I think that's good. Change leopard to 10-4. Okay, does 5 damage. It's just, it is a dolphin that can scale. A level 1 dolphin that can scale. Overall, interesting take. I'm happy about that. Change mammoth to 310. I don't know why you want to make the mammoth bulkier than it already was. Why do you want to make it fatter than it already... what do you want it to have 10 HP? I don't understand this change. It will hit things for more, but... because, upgrading HP, if it can manage to survive 2 hits somehow as a tier 6 in the late game, then... it'll deal 6 damage instead of 3. So you double its attack effectively, but also like, I don't know why you want the Mammoth to live. Mammoth, I usually run it at the front and either I pill it or I leave it there for 1 round and then I pill it or I just sell it. I never use it as my primary damage healer because it's an ant. It's a better ant. Well, I don't even know that it's better because you get it later on in the game, regardless. Interesting change. Change Swan to a 3-3. Probably a needed change. 3-4. It was just a little too dominant. It was able to take too many hits. Change Caterpillar to 1-3. I mean, yeah, Caterpillar is very strong, so maybe a nerf is good. Change Kangaroo to 1-2. From a 2-3 to a 1-2. Yikes. That's a little sad. It means that, put that into perspective, if you run a Kangaroo now trades cleanly with the ant. But it is not meant to. It just means, this is effectively delays, it slows its scaling down by 1 turn, by 1 hit. So you know, in order to, someone actually reacted with the Kangaroo here. In order to get it to where it was, you're going to have to put something like a cricket in front of it so it gets hit twice, and then that'll equate the buff that it would have gotten pre-nerf. Change Turtle to 1-2 literally does nothing personally. In my opinion, it does nothing because I never run the turtle, so it survives. Change Chicken to 1-2. I don't know what this does. Wait, I don't know if it's stats or the buffs that it gives. I don't know if this is the stats or the buffs that it gives. I'm gonna assume that it's its stats? I don't know. If it's the stats that it gives, then that is great. If it's stats, it's a 1-2 now, 1-2 tier 5. It really doesn't matter. You never use the chicken to like as an offensive unit, so. Okay, now let's go to this final part. Final part down here. Today we are doing something different. I will try to give some insight into why we made the above changes and what are some of the challenges when balancing the pets. Oh shit, I just dropped I just dropped something on my desk just fell down. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The rat was reversed to the very original form, which was considered to be weak as a house built from paper and spit. We are aware of that, but we felt that the betrayal mechanic was just too complex. We tried to keep the free-to-play pack really simple for new players. I thought the right decision was to remove the rat, but it turns out that even the rat has a small vocal fan base of its own. Being told by your players that a change you want to make would disappoint them is a hard thing to ignore. We will have to revisit the rat in a later patch. Fair. I mean, I don't know why, it kind of sucks, right? I do believe that the rat does need a change, but this is just kind of useless. But I love the rat. I love having it around, even though it's kind of shit. But no, actually, because it dilutes the shops. I don't know. We'll see. It certainly exists. I'm not going to run it, but it's funny. We did a poll that showed that 50% of all voters wanted turkey to be weaker. So why haven't we done that yet? We theorized that the new tiger and the new fly will indirectly make the turkey weaker. A lot of new players like the obvious combo, and making it too weak removes the fun. We are trying to carefully keep the fun in place while removing broken combos. We might be wrong, so we will keep our eyeballs glued to our data and feedback. Good. I talked about this in one of the other videos. I do think that it's a better approach to buff weaker units to make them stronger than to nerf stronger units. So in this case, they changed these two in a way that still contains the essence. It still retains the essence of the animal instead of just nerfing the turkey, and with an emphasis on fun. Because I think having a bunch of broken stuff is way more fun than having a bunch of really weak animals and then one of them is just really overpowered. That's what happened with Dodo Rooster, right? And a bunch of stuff just didn't feel very good. I would have rather all the animals be buffed around it. Now I understand that is not a thing that can just easily be done. You can't just be like, all right, fuck it, let's buff every single animal in the game, because it would just create a disaster. But I admire their emphasis on focusing on the fun, and I appreciate it. Good job, devs. Good job. Our challenge is that as our community ages, the feedback we got will mostly be from more experienced players rather than new ones. I know from my days of playing Hearthstone that developers move like slugs, even when their most knowledgeable players all stream in unison, that X is toxic and needs to be changed. One of our goals was to move quicker in response to feedback. But that can sometimes be an emotional challenge as a developer if you are also reading feedback from other players who really enjoy X and still have to consider the game from the perspective of a new player. Once again, this completely makes sense. This is one of the issues that Overwatch had, right? Because they kept doing a lot of the changes for the really the really high level players. And based on what I heard, I don't know when this was, by the way, I haven't played Overwatch in forever. But based on what I heard, it resulted in a bunch of people just being like, why did they make this hero that I like weaker at the lower level? Newer players that just enjoyed the game casually would just look at what was happening and be like, this character is just completely different. They're reworking this character because people way high up here were like, this is not excuse me, we're like, this is not fun. But then the people way down here were like, what the hell, I like playing Symmetra with like the weird 2 ultimate thing that she used to have. Anyway, good emphasis on fun. Dodo plus Rooster was obviously just too strong. Should the Rooster be made weaker? Absolutely. Should the Dodo also be made weaker? Honestly, I'm not sure. We have a public test version where we ask players to give their feedback on all changes we made. But in our case, it was mostly played by really experienced players who argued against each other and against your own best instinct. Paying too much attention to feedback can really put you in a deadlock where nothing gets done. Chicken seems to be completely ignored by the majority, but if you ask the tournament players in our Discord, it is very overpowered. Something that completely went over our heads in our first iteration, we went ahead and made it stronger. After a big glass of humble juice, we admitted our mistake and went the opposite way. Obviously, we will mess up sometimes, but we will continue to aim to balance the game. That's the thing. They actually made Chicken a +2/+2, and it was apparently like insanely broken. I never got to play with it, but apparently it was just ridiculous. So maybe this is a good change. I'm glad that they are taking that into account as well. It's as a person, I've wanted to be a game developer my whole life. Never done it because I'm lazy, but it's a really eye-opening experience to see these devs being so earnest and honest about their opinions and their thoughts on game development. And I think that it is it's an interesting look into kind of the things you have to take into account. And I don't, I just really appreciate the work that they put into the game. Good job. By the way, devs, nicest people ever. I DM'd them a few times. If you look, I forget. I think it was the Dodo Rooster Chick video that I made. It was like, I think the video is called We Won, but at what cost? From then on, the pictures of the animals and the thumbnails should actually look better because I mentioned, I actually DM'd Arcuni. I'm pointing up there, but I know you can't see the Discord member list. I actually DM'd Arcuni and I was like, hey, I noticed that in the new patch, the animal preview window is smaller. Now, granted, I don't know if that was because I was playing from the browser. I noticed the new animal preview window is smaller on for the separate packs. I was wondering if there was a way that we could like blow the images up so it'd be easier to get a new, good shots of the animals for thumbnail purposes. And the dev didn't even just went, here you go, and handed me a zip file with every single animal file other than the sloth, but that's okay. And yeah, just really nice. So, once again, much love to the devs at Teamwood Games. Y'all are doing great work. We got a lot of analytical data to play with, but we're still in the process of figuring out how to use it effectively to determine what pets are too strong and too weak. But sometimes the data also contradicts popular opinion. So sometimes we have to decide if we are making changes for balance or making changes for feelings. I could keep going with all these micro challenges, but I want to get ice cream, so time to wrap it up. I understand. Add ice cream to the game, by the way. Do it. Look, there's threads going on over here. Moving forward, we will aim to make less small changes and instead just make a few big changes to key underpowered/overpowered pets. Making a huge balance patch feels like a mistake. It is slow, easy to lose the overview, and you probably have to redo stuff anyway because of all the ripple effects that come with changing previously overpowered/underpowered pets. But let us know what you think about the patch. We will continue to make balance changes, so forgive us for all the things we got wrong this time. We will make it up to you later. Dude, honestly, much respect. There's no... Hey, I am glad that the devs are so upfront and transparent about the changes that they're doing. So good job. No problem. Hey, it allowed me to make a lot of videos, kind of farm the patch note videos, so I don't mind at all. Just thank you. Thank you for all the hard work you do, and keep up the good work. That's going to be it, by the way, for those unaware. The Super Auto Pets devs are looking for artists, so if you know an artist, go ahead and give them this link, or join the Teamwood Games Discord server and find this link yourself. There's some good stuff there, and if you're an artist, you potentially have a chance at getting a job, maybe, or at least being a free, being like a commissioned artist for them. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and look at much love, and then let me hit it with a heart. Anyway, that's gonna be all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was a long one, but I like to kind of give my thoughts on all the patch notes. We'll be playing some more of this. There's like two videos that aren't on the most recent patch. I apologize. But when that comes out, you'll for sure know. You will for sure know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Most people that watch the videos aren't subscribed. I know I'm doing that thing YouTubers do, but most people that watch the videos aren't subscribed. You can, subscribing is free, and you can always change your mind later, as all content creators say. And yeah, I'll keep making Super Auto Pets content so long as people keep watching it. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.